Hello, everyone out there in podcast world. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You're listening to or watching the Service Business Mastery Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tersh Blissett, sitting virtually next to my co-host, Joshua Crouch. And on today's episode, we have our good buddy, Ryan Fenn. And first off, welcome back to the show. It's been a while. It's probably been a couple years ago since you've been on the podcast.
Year and a half, 2 years
at least. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
Super honored to be back. Thank you, Tersh and Josh. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, really quick, let's get the party started. A lot of things have changed since the last time we talked with CHIIRP. But since we last connected, what if you can remember what it was that we were doing?
Yeah.
What's changed since then?
AI.
Yeah.
So in that regard, what hasn't changed?
Ever heard of it?
To go through.
Yeah. I would say like the onslaught of AI has taken full root, and we're in this whole new world since the last time we talked, and it's changing dramatically daily, and it's pretty cool to see. It's also keeps all of our swords super sharp. We're constantly just going and fighting, and we're all in war right now for sure.
As soon as you're like, all right, I think I got this thing figured out.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%. And it's fun. It's fun at the same time. It's like, okay, gosh, because you go to the development team and you go, okay, guys, let's build this, and then they build it, and then it's like, well, got news for you.
Do you ever think, hey, maybe we should hold off on this because if it's going to change, or
there are definitely decisions we make daily that are like, okay, that one we're just going to have to say, we're too far behind on that one. And let's focus over here. It's a constant, like if we made decisions in software 5 or 6 years ago, it was like, monthly that we'd be like, or maybe every couple months we'd be like, okay, now let's do this. It's gotten down to almost daily. We're like, hey, we're changing things again. Like, and so it's just making us move a lot faster. It's keeping us on our toes. It's fun, but it's definitely like a brave new world.
It's exhausting at some point. Like it's
like,
damn it, man. I just made adjustments for that. I will tell you one cool thing that's recently came out. And it definitely won't excite Josh as much as it excites me, but that's Claude being inside of Excel.
Like, actually, I think they actually, if I read the notice right, they cooperated with OpenAI on that too. So my guess is OpenAI will have some functionality with some of those, like with Slack and like some of these other tools and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that was fascinating. I did see that. It was only a couple of days ago when I logged in. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Clockbot is the next one that everyone's talking about. Yeah.
And it's actually like coworker space. Like you can release it on a folder and say, analyze all these receipts and put them into a do a job cost for me, or a what do you call it? The trip, whatever, whenever you go on a trip and you have to like turn in all your receipts and everything. You can release that on, like, you've already uploaded all the receipts into a Google Drive, and then release it to that folder, and then it'll do it all for you. And it's like, golly, all these things that we used to do that were kind of like monotonous work.
Yep.
And we talk about that, like extracting and parsing and all this other fancy stuff we used to use on Zapier and stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm smart.
Tersh and I hired PAs to do for years.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just one of those things that we can do it faster, easier, simpler, and get a better output. The one thing I've noticed though, like, so you can always tell when people are using this stuff, because I've had I had a client yesterday. They clearly were like asking us some marketing questions, and it's like this really broad thing. And of course, a lot of the things we didn't even cover. Like, we didn't even do that service for them, but they're sending it to us anyways. And I'm like, did you read this before you sent it over? Because
copy and paste.
Half of this is irrelevant to everything that we do. Yeah. And the other half, I'm like, we already have process systems for, like, we're already taking care of that stuff. So I'll take some of this stuff. And then I was talking to a marketing friend of mine who clearly got a ChatGPT email from a client. And because he was kind of annoyed that he got a ChatGPT email. He put it into ChatGPT to send an email back. And then he got another email back from ChatGPT.
Yep.
And I'm like, I was talking about it yesterday on the phone. And I'm like, at what point did we just not talk to humans at all anymore?
Right. Yeah.
And
we just go like, deal with it. You do.
I don't know if you guys saw this, and it was probably obscure because there's a lot of other like Newsline head coverage, but I read about this doomsday clock. Did you guys ever hear about this?
Yeah, they moved it forward.
They moved it down, and I was like, first of all, I think I've heard of it, but I was like, I like read the whole thing.
It's like a credit. It's like a credit rating, right? It's like a credit. It's like a credit score for the world, and it's saying like, if if we move it forward, if it gets to midnight, it basically means that the world's over, right? It's like,
well, and it's because of all the stuff between China, Russia. And we're going to politics here, but it also talks about like some of the stuff because there's nobody's really getting together and talking about this technology that could theoretically at some point render us all useless.
It's all the comedians that are making the jokes are spot on when they're just like literally everybody is like looking at this going, these will be able to kill us, right? Yes. And then it's like, keep going. Like, wait, like what, at what point? Yeah.
But probably after the robots take over, we'll decide that we want to do something about it.
They made a movie about that.
Yeah,
there's been a few.
It wasn't until I saw like they have some pretty cool robots at the CES this year, right?
Yeah.
And they're like really mobile, right? Like they are. I mean, we're not far off from like but like you think about that and you just go, that thing could walk up and just rip your arms off your body. You're like, freak, dude. It's getting serious.
It is. It's crazy. They have one robot that is on wheels, and it's supposed to be like a military, but it has a gyroscope on it, so it balances itself. You can't knock the thing over, and it's on a single wheel, or it might be two. It might be two wheels, but it can literally jump up on objects and things like that, and you go to push it over, and it counterbalances itself. And I'm
so I'm in. That reminded me. I'm in Hollywood a few months ago with my family, and I'm at we're in the car and we're at a red light, and going across the street was a Uber Eats robot, right? And I go to my kids, I go, hey, check it out. That robot's delivering food. And right when I say that, this homeless guy comes running up to it and dumps it over.
No.
And runs off yelling the F word. He's like, F that robot.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
Dude, I didn't even think about that.
So your invention you just talked about is because homeless guys are not knocking over the right as I tell my kids, hey, check out that robot. This guy, F this robot, flips it over.
That is funny. So speaking of like all this AI, and we talk a ton about AI search and being relevant in AI search. Speed to lead. Is it still like, I know you've talked about it a ton. Like that's what you talk about a lot. Is it still like the number one factor in conversion?
Yes, speed to lead is still like one of our, top reasons that somebody's going to sign up for CHIIRP. And it's still super important because we're still talking about lead generation. Even if you generate a lead in AI and you request information, we still need to contact you very, very quickly. We don't know where that's going. We don't know if it's going to just get to the point where it's just like you don't even have any interaction, you don't talk at all, you just go and book whatever, but for now, speed to lead is still key. And I think it's really it's getting to a point now where we're just looking at the landscape and going, what does your business need automation wise? We'll build that for you to do that thing. Like we're becoming kind of like the AI whisperer for the business, right? There'll be a point, and I don't think it's too far off, where tools are you're not selling tools anymore because everybody will have access to the tools.
Yeah.
And they can just do them, but you're still going to need somebody with experience, and years of data to implement those things within your business. And that's, I think, where we're headed. And I think people that do have the doomsday, oh, everybody's going to go out of business. I don't buy into that, but I definitely buy into if you don't like keep up, you'll go out of business for sure. But I think ultimately humans will know how to. Humans aren't just going to be like, well, I guess we're going to go hungry now. Like, no human is going to allow themselves to go hungry, right? And so,
as soon as that happens, there's going to be Armageddon, and
right? Revolt, right? And it's like
that's the history of the world, right? That's how that stuff happens. Like, you look again, not to get in politics, like Iran, a lot of protests, a lot of stuff going on over there, and it's because of how they've been treated for so many years. They're finally standing up to that type of stuff. But the AI stuff is going to be at some point there's going to be. And I feel like I've seen it in sometimes because I've listened to calls and stuff like that. And I have one client I'm working with more closely, and listening to their after hours calls. I don't know. I have no idea who they're using for their agent, but like I see a lot of hangups after hours. They get like the agent gets like 2 questions in, and then the person can tell, and then all of a sudden you hear click.
Yeah. And I think
then there's no like, does the business owner even know? They say they're calling people back. I'm like, but it's after hours or weekends. Are you really? Do you really know what's going on? Are you analyzing this to understand that? Like, do you have a human in the loop? Do you have something that's catching the opportunity that just got missed that you paid for?
Yep.
And so there's things like that I think we're moving into, like, how do we use our people in different ways? Not say use people, leverage their skills in different ways, where they're maybe they're not always the first one on the phone anymore, or maybe they're not doing some dispatching, but there's still going to be gaps inside of businesses, and businesses in particular.
I agree with that 100%. You hear it all the time. I really am still the post that came out, I don't know, a year ago or something. It's like that has been my mantra. It's like, AI is not going to take your job, but somebody that's learning AI is.
Yeah.
And so I'm keenly aware of that. And you and I have had this conversation, Josh, where it's like, well, there's going to be a point where AI is indistinguishable from a human being. Right. And I think personally, I believe we're underestimating our
ability as humans,
our ability as humans to sense things.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is even if we can get AI to be completely sound perfect, right? You can't tell the difference. I think there's going to be an inner mechanism within us that's going to help us discern and help us understand. And it's going to cause a negative feeling where if we're not talking to a real human and we know it, there's going to be a feeling that just goes, I don't trust the company.
A sense of animosity of some sort.
Yeah. And so I think even if we get to, maybe it's wishful thinking, but I do think even if we get to a point where AI is completely indistinguishable, I think we'll start relying on some senses that we don't really fully rely on right now.
Yeah.
That we aren't aware of.
It's funny that you even mentioned that, because I was talking to a homeowner yesterday who called into the office, and he was like, yeah, it was 7:49 in the morning, and your office opens at 8. And I kept talking to the girl, and we were talking about like after hours emergency charges and stuff like that, whatever it was. And I was like, man, do I need to hang up and call back in a few minutes? Like, I don't want to do this. And he was like, I know she wasn't AI, because like I started getting pissed, and like she started matching my tone, and like that's not what AI agents do. Like they state even kill and stuff. And I was like, dude, I am telling you, before 8 a.m. my phone calls, like my phone line does not swap over to the office until 8 a.m. So and he's like, no, he was like, I'm telling you, it was not an AI voice agent.
You're like, I promise it was.
Let's call him right now. And so I picked up my phone and I called the direct line to the AI voice agent, and we talked to her, and he was like,
oh crap.
That's not cool, dude. Like, because we were joking about it back and forth, but it blew me away. And I told him, I was like, look, dude, every 2 weeks or so, these things are updating, and they're like I don't have any personal control over every single word that it's saying at this moment in time. But they update and they are getting better and better and better. And he was like, yeah, but normally I can sense it. And Jen and I were talking last week on our recording on the podcast, and she was talking about something and brought up a really good point. And that's the Jen McKee with the CHIIRP marketing, by the way, for anybody that's listening and doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Awesome.
Yeah. And she does social media marketing. And she was like, people can just tell that it's written by AI. Like you as a general, like we scroll through posts and we can just tell that AI wrote it. Like even if it says very similar things to what a human would say, there's just the cadence and the nuances that we can just pick it up. And
and it's almost like it'll take some time, I think, but like when somebody's blind, you go, how could you make it through this world? And their other senses become way more heightened, and they can navigate, like they can hear things and know directionally where to go and like different things. And I think it's like we're becoming blind to what's real, and like other senses will start to pick up and we'll start to navigate in a world differently than we have in the past.
that is a really good. So that went way off topic.
It's almost hard not to talk about this stuff when you talk about AI, though, because it's like there's not enough conversations about it. Because really, what it is, it's the hype train. Everything is a hype train right now. It is, and
buzzword
ad nauseum. Like it's just, did you see this new thing? You see this new thing? You see? It's like, dude, I got a life and I got a business to run. Like, I can't look at every single thing that's great out there.
To put a bow on it, I'll say this. Like I do fully agree with you. Need to embrace it. You need to keep up with it if you want to be relevant. My dad recently came to me. He's built homes my whole life. He's a custom home builder. He builds beautiful multi-million-dollar homes. And he came to me and he's like, he has a small equity stake in CHIIRP. And he came to me and he's like, I'm really tired of building homes. What could I do? And I said, well, I can't just hire you just because you're my dad. And so I said, but I've heard that really good project managers in construction can also be really good project managers in software if they can bridge the gap. Yeah. And so I said, sit down with ChatGPT, tell it who you are, that you're a builder, you've been doing this for this long, and then say, I need you to teach me how to bridge the gap between contractor development and construction development and software. And he, for a month, just absorbed and let it teach him everything. And he came to me and he said, I really think I could help you guys in project management within software. And I'll tell you, he's revolutionized how we do things here. Like he's streamlined a ton of stuff. But the point being, like if somebody in their late 60s can absorb and reinvent themselves, have that much access to that much education so quickly, like we're standing on like the edge of like the coolest thing ever. Like you can sit there and learn whatever you want to learn. What do you want to learn? Go learn it right now. I told my daughter, she's like, I want to own a salon. When I'm 18, I want to open a salon. And I was like, hey, get into ChatGPT, say that you're 12 years old and that you want to, over the next 4 years, understand what you need to do, or over the next 6 years, to own a salon. And she's taking notes and like learning how to own a salon.
Yeah.
And it's like, what better like
do you think it does away with college?
I can't see how it doesn't. Like I can sit there and learn. Like yesterday I was asking it questions about history and like politics and stuff. I'm like, teach me what is autocracy on a deep level? Like teach, because I heard somebody like talking about autocracy, and I understand what autocracy is, but I'm like, why would that guy want an autocracy? He sounds like a psychopath. And it breaks it down so that I have a full like understanding of like how I would respond if somebody said that to me. Like why would I have ever gotten that information otherwise? Right. If it wasn't just free sitting there ready to go. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't see how it doesn't do away with some sort of, if they don't, again,
at the same time, does it not make us dumber? because we don't need to retain the knowledge anymore.
You know,
Because we know that we
what's
can
interesting about that,
pull our phone out and say, what's the information? What's the truth behind it? And then we're relying that it's not biased.
I'd argue that because that was the same argument when calculators came out.
True. I agree.
So, and I feel like AI is
gotten slower in math since then.
Right. And so it's like we figured out a calculator for human thought. Like it's a calculator for words. And it's like, does it just move us forward? You know?
No, I'm with you.
It's interesting. So I've shared this on the show, Ryan. I don't think I've ever shared this with you. So my daughter's 15, almost 15 and a half. She was 14, 8th grade last year. And she used her birthday and Christmas money to buy a ChatGPT subscription. I wasn't going to buy it for her.
Oh,
and she did it for her homework and stuff. So, and I asked her, and obviously there's some, help with some of that stuff to back, lack of a better term, cheat. But she also, like, when it came to time when she was getting ready for tests and stuff, she did say it was helpful as a tutor to answer, like, to ask her questions so she comprehended. So a lot of the thing, like, I use, so like I'm in the process of putting together some thoughts for a potential book and stuff. And I literally have had it ask me hundreds of questions, things that I'm like, oh, I would have never even thought to ask myself that.
That's like, a hack right now.
It is. Phone. It's like, have it ask you to, like, we talk about these tradesmen, these tradespeople. It's like tradespeople. But they have 20 years of experience. It's all in here.
Yeah.
How do we get that out? Like, we always talk about downloading your brain, right? As leaders.
Yep.
Now you can ask prompting questions to get the information out, turn it into a process, a system, a training course, whatever the creative brain, whatever you think your team needs. And now you can download all of that experience in a way that's useful for everybody else. Which I think, so there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do if you start thinking about it in the positive way versus it's going to ruin my life.
The ways we're using it for sales is amazing, right? Because just like you said, it's a tool. If you don't use it correct, if I go in and just say, write me a sales letter for, write me an email for this person, right? It's going to bad input, bad output, right? And then the person's going to go, that was an AI script. But if you take a letter an email that you wrote and then go, can you just read this and touch it up for me and tell me where I could make a point different? And then you actually synthesize, bring in the information, go, okay, I like what it said here, but that doesn't, and you're actually using it, engaging with it, then it becomes really valuable. And we're able to, like, the emails my team are sending back to people are so much crisper, so much better because they're taking the time to to engage. If they just said, just write me an email response, then that's not going to work, but they're engaging with it. And I think that's the key.
I wrote out a prompt. It's been a while ago, but it's still, like, I've been updating it along the way. It's been over a year ago now, maybe 2 years, close to it. But it was for technicians filling out invoices and their invoice summary. And instead of it would ask asked the technician questions and then takes basically what they're saying, but puts it in a very homeowner friendly kind of way, output. And I've also, it's very consistent. So like 6 different technicians can use it and it feels very, very consistent. Like the same technician wrote it.
We had our marketing guy, basically he's over the last 3 months been creating the CHIIRP tone. And it's a 10-page document of like how we respond to things, what words we don't use, what words we do, all this stuff, right? And that's been installed on all of our people's chat GPTs. Cool. So now when they ask it questions, it knows to respond with the CHIIRP tone.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I mean, it's like,
it's really awesome.
Like you said, that's downloading my information and then making sales guys just do what we want them to do. It's crazy.
So Ryan, you mentioned bad input, bad output. So let's switch gears again and start talking about software, lead and stuff like that, because
we should be.
It's actually a great jumping off point to transition because I feel like so one thing I've noticed, and I can't remember who I talked to about this last, maybe it was the conversation we had with Bill on Friday about, no, it was someone else. I had a conversation because one thing I notice because we always, when we talk to clients, we ask about their tech stack and stuff like that, is that clients generally have
too many
they're on
things.
Service Side, they have Marketing Pro, they have CHIIRP, they might have Podium, they might have Hatch.
Yep.
And the thing that comes in my mind is like, why? Like, why do you have, you're spending so much money on tools that do, I mean, granted, now I know there's nuances, especially like Marketing Pro with you guys, because there's one's good really with email. You guys are obviously really good at the text messaging side, but how can we, like, as far as, if you're going to give advice to contractors, because you're in the tech world and you see these tech stacks as well, I'm sure you guys have the same thing that you guys talk to. You guys are usually having people switch from this platform to that one, that sort of thing. What kind of advice would you give them as far as what they can do and how they can make sure they maximize the input that they're putting into the software so they get the maximum output and actually see if it is something that's going to solve the problem versus like getting 30% in and be like, yeah, it's not it. I'm going to go to the next one. And they just constantly jump from thing to thing to thing. And they're in all these contracts they can't get out of and everything else. What would your advice be?
Assume they're not on Service Titan.
Yeah. So my advice is this: we are headed into a world where the tool itself is no longer the exciting part of the process here. A hammer is a hammer, whatever brand it is. There's very little differences in a hammer, right? And 10 years ago, 5 years ago with software, we could show completely big differences between our tools, right? We could very clearly see why this tool was better than this tool, or this tool did this or that. We're getting to a point where everything is becoming a hammer, right? Just a tool that does a job. And so when you are being approached by these companies, especially now that people can spin up very, very basic tools very quickly, we're going to get to a point where it's very hard to distinguish between the tool itself. And so I would say that the key is going to be who's behind the tool, because it's much more important to me who holds the hammer than the hammer itself. And so when you go to a company that goes, oh, I can do that too, the same thing that they can do, you go, well, how many nails have you driven into wood, right? Have you driven millions?
Support like whenever you nail one in sideways.
Exactly.
For clarity's sake, Ryan's telling you should ask this question on a sales call. How many nails have you driven with a hammer? Just see what they you want to throw someone off. That's a great way to throw someone.
Yeah. And so I would be looking at who if I'm going to partner with a software company or a company that's attempting to sell me a tool, I would be less concerned about the tool and more about the company themselves and saying, who are they? What have they done? How long have they been doing this? What kind of experience do they bring to the table? Because ultimately, it's not going to be about the tool. It's going to be how it's deployed. And if you have somebody with experience, then we can look at that and go, okay, cool. I'm going to show you how to hold the hammer. I'm going to show you how to hold the nail so you don't hit your finger. And I'm going to show you exactly how to drive the nail and how fast, all this stuff, right? I'm using hammer as a simple analogy, but the goal for me going forward with CHIIRP is that people go, well, those guys have those tools, but CHIIRP, they've been doing this for 15 years. They have hundreds of millions of text messages of data. They have hundreds of millions of dollars sold through the system, and they know things that will allow me to apply the tool better in my business. And so when you're talking with somebody, talk to them about that, not about the tool specifically, because anybody at this point can go, check this out. Look at this AI voice agent. It sounds real, doesn't it? Or look at this text message. It goes out when I want it to, right? Anybody can.
That's what people are using as comparison right now. They're like, well, let me listen to the audio. Let me listen to what the voice sounds like.
Right. And it's like, who cares? It's outcomes. Everybody going forward will be selling an outcome. Who can get you, there's going to be a point where you come to CHIIRP or to a business like mine and you go, and you sign up and all you have to do is push a button and you have booked jobs, because they'll do the whole thing start to finish. Right. And it's like, we're getting there. But the idea is like right now we're having AI analyze hundreds of millions of text messages, and the data that's feeding back to us, like I'm calling it the scroll or some like mystical thing, because it's like
I can only imagine.
It's data that is it's like literally saying this word is not a word you want to say, because we've found that when you say that word, people say no, right? And it's like finding all these insights that if you have a tool without that data, we don't, you can't know. So
tell me this, what's the difference, or is there an important difference between follow-up between seconds and minutes?
so this is huge. There's two parts to this.
Okay.
There's when you say it and what you say when you say it. Those are the two. And I want to drill into this, because I use this analogy. I used to do windshield repair at gas stations. You've heard my story.
I have, yes. Very good.
I think we did talk about that last time you were on.
Yeah.
So I do recall as soon as you said, I'm like, oh yeah, we talked.
Yeah. I started it doing door to door, and then I saw a girl doing it at a gas station, and I was like, wait, she's like way smarter than me, because all the cars are coming to her, right, while I'm going out knocking on doors. So I get this, I go to this gas station, I say to the guy, hey, I want to do windshield repair here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wash your customers' windshields as a courtesy, and if they have a chip in the windshield, I'll pitch them. So you basically get me out there free washing people's windshields. I'll welcome them. It's like a little bonus you get for having me, here. He was super cool with it. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So I get there and I'm washing windshields. And what I would do is the person would get out of the car and I'd say, hey, welcome to Mike's Chevron. Would you like me to wash your windshield today? 9 out of 10, maybe even more, would say no. Like just instinctively, just because it's like, no, thanks. Like, no, I don't, whatever, right?
Same thing when you walk through the mall and someone's like, hey, can I help you?
Exactly, right? Can I do this? And like, okay, no. Okay, so then I'm like, shoot, how is that girl like doing it? Because if I'm only able to wash 1 out of 10 cars that come in. So if I see 100 cars, I'm only going to have 10 opportunities, right, to pitch. And then all I did was switch slightly the words that I said, and it completely flipped my opportunity. It went from 1 out of 10 saying yes to 9 out of 10 saying yes. And all it was a couple of words. This is what I would say. Welcome to Mike's Chevron. As a courtesy today, we're washing everybody's windshields. And then I would just start washing the windshield. Okay.
You just assumed.
I assumed. So there's two parts. So I assumed it, and I gave FOMO a little bit. FOMO, where you say we're washing everybody's windshields. Okay. That switch in that sentence, those few words, took me from 10 out of 100 cars to pitch to 90 out of 100 cars, which is massive, right? That's a complete flip. And that first Saturday, I figured that out that morning, and then I made $1,500 in windshield repair that first day. Okay. Nice. Point being that you could be saying a word in a text message that's making everybody say no. Like literally one little phrase or one little word that could be making everybody say no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. And if you figure that out and flip it,
do you have any tips on that?
So
anything you guys have learned through, because you mentioned, I mean, obviously I know you don't look through all hundreds of thousands of text messages, but like I'm sure you guys have some accumulation and some things that can analyze.
I did not have this information until actually just this week. We've had AI reading, and it's taken a long time. It's reading our hundreds of millions of text messages, and it's coming back with a ton of little things. And it's going, this text message worked because it showed slight empathy in their situation. Like, we know you're busy. We understand that things are, and it showed some empathy as to, I understand that you're busy, but it is. And those little things can flip the whole script. And so I wouldn't give you personally right now, like, I wouldn't just say, hey, change this to this, but I would say start using AI to help you craft better messages. And then, of course, we're going to be releasing a bunch of this stuff as ebooks and things where you can say, hey, like, this is how you can learn how to write the copy. But what you were saying earlier, Tersh, speed and what you're saying, those are the two super important things. So yes, we have to contact them within a minute. If it's further than a minute, the chances of converting gets cut in half. because
is there something as far is we talk about, speed delete? Is there something that's too fast?
Yeah.
no,
Like,
there's not too
I
fast.
submitted a form and it's like I literally didn't even set my phone down and I got a text message.
There's not too fast. Some people
Okay.
argue that. We're not seeing that. It's not too. And here's the problem. I'll give you an exact analogy. I got my DEXA scan 2 weeks ago. Okay. And there's
Mine
two.
on Friday.
Oh,
You got
cool.
your deck scanned?
What's your results?
Like somebody came out and scanned your back porch?
DEXA.
What did you think he said? You
Dex.
know what he's talking about.
My deck. I got my
You get
DEXA
the deck scanned?
Oh, your deck.
DEXA.
I see what you're saying. Like,
So for anybody that wants to know what DEXA is, a body scan to see where your body fat is. It's very disappointing. Don't do it. There's two near my office, and they're the exact same distance, and they have the exact same reviews. They're both 2 minutes away, and they both have like 4.95, whatever, right? The high enough to, and there's one on top of the other when you search DEXA scan, right? So I call the first guy, he doesn't answer. I hang up and I just immediately call the second one, right? It takes 5 seconds to go to the next one and click call. Call goes out. The person answers. She books me and I hang up. And right when that's like what, like a 2-minute phone call, right? By the time I hung up, right when I hung up, a text message came through. Hey, sorry, I missed your call. Do you want to book your DEXA?
Had that come instantly,
I had already booked. It's too late, right?
Yeah.
2 minutes, you lost the job, right?
Yeah.
Had it come instantly, and I know this is true because I did this. My son threw a baseball through our window, and I called a company to come out and fix it. And right when I hung up, I got the text message. Hey, I'm on another call. I'll call you right back. And that was enough for me to go, oh, cool. I'll wait for him to call me back.
Mhm.
That was enough. And it like
Interesting.
stopped me, right? It like cut me. It's like we have to like put in these like little
Well, because
blockers,
like in psychology, and Tersh can probably speak to this better than I can, but like we just want to know that someone's going to take care of the thing on our to-do list.
Yes.
And as long as that thing's going to come in, we just cool. Now I'm going to move on to the next thing. And if you don't call back, I'll come back to it.
Yep. I haven't solved the problem yet, so I got to keep going. But now that has come in, it's like, oh, boom. So for me,
that's good.
You can't be too fast. What do you say? We know which one doesn't work out.
I just put a comment. Sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry. I saw Greg Stonehorn's comment. We know which one of you three doesn't work out all the time. Well done, Tersh, is what he meant to say.
Hey. I go do the stuff to show that I'm doing it, but I could be better for sure. Josh is the one that can. Yeah, Tersh and I are probably more alike in that realm than Josh is. So to answer your question, Tersh, to me, too fast. We can't be in this world. We're too fast. Like you can move too quickly. So I can get to the next guy too fast.
You're recommending that initial, especially if it's like a missed call, text back, or a form, or something that like somebody's inquiring.
Don't even put it
like just immediately send it
100% instant, right? And we find that like people will say, "Oh, we have that in our system." This is really important because we've had a competitor. We've had somebody switch from a competitor over to ours, and they go, "Why did our booking rate go up like double?" And we found that even though the competitor had quote unquote speed to lead, it was taking, because of their back end, over a minute for the text message to deliver. And that was causing a drop off in their booking. So even if somebody says, "Oh, we do have speed to lead," it's like, is your infrastructure there to get the text message delivered lightning fast? So
sure. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So
can we talk,
Ryan,
talk a little bit about the AI that you have built into CHIIRP?
Yeah, I was going to go into like, especially because I don't think you guys have like fully released. You might have shown some like releases to like Tommy and some other people, but like what is different?
Yeah.
Like what's been added? Because obviously people have known you for a while, and I'm sure most people in the trades now, at least the ones on Facebook groups, so they know of CHIIRP. But what is different? What's been enhanced? What things have you guys been working on?
Well, you guys get to be the first podcast to hear the launch. So we've been spending the last year rebuilding a whole new platform, top to bottom, to be to be AI focused, but we don't want people to think that they don't have the options, because some people are still like, hey, I'm not ready for a full AI. And so we have all of the functionality to do it manually like we always have, but also to add AI wherever you want. And now what we're doing is we're shifting into a outcome based business. So basically, you're coming to us and you're saying, I want these strategies. We're calling it the playbook. And within the playbook, you have certain strategies from all the way through the customer journey. So you have lead conversion, estimate rehash, customer loyalty. Those are kind of your 3 top level strategies. And then within those are all of our battle tested and proven campaigns and everything we've built in each of those areas. Everything we've done with Tommy for conversion, everything we did with Gettle to massively increase their estimate conversion, customer loyalty, how to maintain your database and keep customers coming back to you over and over, all these things. And then what we have now is, instead of going in and building campaigns and then connecting those to your Service Titan and having those trigger at certain points, you have specific agents that are designed for each of these tasks. And so you're basically hiring individual employees to do a single thing. So for example, you'll have your Angie lead conversion agent. Your Angie lead conversion agent is only trained and specifically set up to convert Angie leads, a speed to lead, follow up, AI where needed if we're gonna go into AI, and then the ability to use AI to follow up at the right time. So instead of saying follow up on day 1, follow up on day 3, follow up on day 5, it's going to say, based on historical evidence, I'm just going to follow up based on what is right. So it'll read the previous text messages and respond with a text message that's appropriate for that conversation, instead of a static follow up AI, right?
So it's not that like you get that repetitive message,
right?
It knows that you already sent messages out.
Yeah, because so like let's say somebody says, I need to talk to my wife, right? The next follow up could be your static message. Hey, it's Ryan with whatever, whatever. Or it could go, hey, Tersh, did you get a chance to talk to your wife? Right? It like read the message, read the context, and is responding appropriately to that follow. So now we're blending everything we've learned with doing this and saying AI follow up. And now what you can do, and this is again A/B testing like we did at the gas station, right? We've got one text versus another text, right? We can now go, okay, I have a manual setup here. I have a normal drip campaign, and I have an AI drip campaign. Let's do an A/B test and see which one does better. And then we can go, all right, this one did better. Let's test that against another AI trained thing. And we can always be improving our follow-up. And so we're taking it from static drip campaigns to a fully dynamic trained system that will follow up with the appropriate message and the appropriate channel, whether that's text, email, ringless voicemail, or an actual outbound voice call.
Have you seen age demographic being important on this?
Yeah, we're getting age demographic. We're getting regional.
Okay.
So we're trying to figure out, like, we're trying to pull stuff from like the South, right? And go, okay, these messages work better in the South. These work better up here. These work better in California, right? And we're trying to get
Southern people definitely use a different lingo than the rest of the world,
and a different cadence too, like a different speed, right? Like it's crazy how much. So we're trying not that we have this dialed totally, but we are having AI try to pull that information and go, hey, like this company in Georgia uses this and they kill it, and so
just send me a message with all those.
So to answer your question, the difference is now, going from kind of like analog to digital, right? Where it's like going from static drip campaigns to fully dynamic. And then the idea is we're just telling it, like, when this happens in Service Titan or when this happens in whatever, deploy this agent, and then you're done. Like the agent starts this thing, right?
Yeah.
So
how long does it take to train it? And does each contractor have to train their own agent?
No, so it's coming pre-built with all all this stuff, and then of course you can make your adjustments, but it's out of the
that
box.
scares a lot of contractors. Is like, man, I already got so much on my plate. I don't want to be training agents.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where, and this is where this whole outcome-based thing is coming, right? Where we're not saying, here's your CHIIRP software, good luck. We're no longer a software company. We're a full service where you actually get a strategist that is assigned to your account who is incentivized to make sure it's working properly for you. So you can sign up, you can say, hey, like, I want my lead conversion. I want to start with lead conversion. I want to make sure that's dialed in. That strategist is now going to go in, help you go through all of it, get it all set up. And then he's incentivized to make sure that's working. And once it gets to a certain point and go, cool, you're making great money here. I recommend we now move into estimate rehash. Let's build everything there. Now I recommend that we move into customer loyalty. And he's taking you through and kind of quarterbacking all of your AI. So
that's cool.
That is cool.
So we're running out of time here.
The dynamic.
We do have a couple of what do we call them? Rapid fire questions for you.
Go for it. Yeah.
One thing that contractors should stop doing immediately.
They should stop saying words like follow-up in their follow-up. They should stop saying words like just bubbling this up or just reminding you. Anything that
people say that on text messages, bubbling this up.
Well, that's like an email. That's an email follow-up, moving the bubbling this up to the top of your just like what the point I'm making is stop treating follow-up like it's a secondary thing. The fortune is in the follow-up. And if you treat it like a secondary thing and all of your energy is on marketing and you go, well, I followed up 2 or 3, it's like, that's a whole other department that should be heavily focused on. And so you should be treating follow-up with as much intensity and as much passion as you would on your marketing, because it's every bit as important. So stop being lame with your follow-up.
What would you say start doing?
What I would start doing is I would start learning what copy actually, how sales copy actually works. Like don't assume that your words that you typed out in the message are going to work. You need to test against your words, because just like in the gas station, if I had never changed that, I would have lost 90% of my opportunity. But because I flipped one way of saying it, I flipped my whole business. And so you could be killing your business based on one stupid sentence that you have that's turning people off. Right.
That's tough though. That's like, I'm getting anxiety just thinking about that. Analyzing all the things that I say, the things that come out of my mouth.
Yeah, you need a new filter in there that analyzes them for copy. So
that's wild. Yeah, I get it.
But what I'm saying is take it seriously. The words, like, your business hinges on the words you say at the end of the day.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah.
So what's next with CHIIRP?
Well, we just went over it. I'm launching that whole new thing. Actually, beta starts February 1. I think, go ahead, Josh. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say next week.
Yeah, next week. It is what I think is going to be the. I mean, of course, I'm biased, but I think it's the coolest lead conversion, customer loyalty estimate rehash tool in the system, in the game. And then it is pairing it with our experience and with the hundreds of millions of text messages that we sent, and pairing an expert with your company. I think that's going to make all the difference. So if you're going, oh, how do I, you can kind of take this whole thing off your plate of going, how do I make sure AI is like, I'm using AI. It's like, have an expert as part of your business telling you do this stuff. And then you can kind of just take it off your plate and go, cool, I know I have AI working for me.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't have to be in the back of your mind anymore.
Right. 100%.
Cool. Ryan, we appreciate you hanging out with us. It's always a joy to sit down and have chats with you. Will you be at AHR by chance next week?
I will not be there next. What's the dates of that?
It's like the second.
I think somebody from my team will be, but I won't be there.
Okay. Okay. I'll be there presenting on stage. But we appreciate hanging out with us and chatting. If you're watching this and you found value in this episode, please share it with the contractor who you think might find value in it as well. And if you did find value, please leave us a 5-star review. Like, I haven't asked for that for a long time. It's been years since I've asked for that. But, I don't even know if it matters, but it's cool to have them up there. So leave us a review. But we appreciate you hanging out with us. Until we talk again next time, be safe. We'll see you later.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.